Hello and welcome back to the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando, live on another Monday night where we are 2 for 2, Luis. We started off the season very well. We have got 2 wins in 2 games. But the first thing I want to start off with this evening, Luis, is something a little bit serious
Yeah.
that has occurred today, and it's come out. Some news about Barbara Banda that had occurred during the game. A statement coming out from the club, as well as NWSL, as well as Gotham. Um, Sadly, there was some hateful language directed towards Barbara at the Gotham game. Something that she has had to endure several times throughout her career, recently, online and in person. Something that we condemn here at LPO, and something that we really just makes us sad to see in the game, especially here in our own country where we don't expect this thing to be happening at NWSL games. So we just want to say that Barbara doesn't deserve this. She is a wonderful athlete and a wonderful person. And, people like this just have no place in the game. And Haley Carter here saying, Orlando Pride stands with Barbara Banda against the hateful behavior and messaging she has endured. Racism, homophobia, and gender discrimination have no place in women's football or anywhere. We will not tolerate that hate, period. So, yes, as Air Vega says in the comments, stand with Barbara Banda. We do that here at LPO. Luis,
Yeah. Yeah.
your
Yeah.
thoughts on this?
Yeah. I do want to add, definitely I stand with Barbara Band as well. I think we as an outlet, we stand, we do not tolerate racism, homophobia, gender discrimination. We don't tolerate that at all. It has no place in the sport, in any sport, by that matter. So, and I truly feel like this is happening recurrent, not just in the women's game, but everywhere. There are players like Vinicius that's having issues in Europe as well. And I think the if something so petty like the Nations League, for example, they've implemented this 1, 2, 3 step process into really changing things around. And I do kind of want to bring it up. You know, in the Nations League finals, for example, there's an anti-discrimination protocol in which the ref can stop the game due to discriminatory chanting. If it continues, I think the second step is to stop the match to the discriminatory chanting, and then if the behavior continues, they'll eject the people that are doing those chants, and then third, the referee completely stops the match, like completely stops the match, like it's over, like the teams go home. The match concluded, all fans exit the stadium in an orderly manner, and this, and they put on here in the CONCACAF, discrimination has no place in football, and it's true. I feel like there's no place for discrimination in the sport. It's sad to see that there's people that are still in this day and age, discriminating against a human being for just being who she is. And it has really no place. And I definitely stand by Barbara 110%. I also do want to commend, and I want to applaud, Gotham fans, because thanks to the Gotham fans, this came to light. They brought it to their attention. If it wasn't for the Gotham fans, we would have not found out probably. So good for them. And I know it was a really push and shovey game that we had against Gotham, but all of that stays in the pitch. In the end, we're one league, and I think we all need to look into the same direction for the betterment of the sport. And so I think Gotham fans did the right thing, and I applaud them as well for that. So yeah, no
Yeah.
hate here.
I'm a part of the NWSL supporters group on Facebook. Not there is a Orlando Pride one, which we're all in, of course, but there is a NWSL league wide one. This was posted in there, and a lot of the comments from other teams around the league saying, how terrible this is and how much they love Barbara. And, just I feel like even though on the field sometimes it can get chippy, Luis, like you said, the fans of NWSL support each other and back each other. And I feel I want to say thank you to Gotham and their fans that pointed this out and brought attention to it, because we appreciate that. And, Barbara doesn't deserve to have this anywhere. So wherever she goes, we want people to be able to protect her. And if this is the case, then we appreciate them. So thank you to Gotham and all the other fans, all their kind words about Barbara, and we appreciate that. So we had to start the show with that, Luis, which was a bit of a downer, but let's
Buskill.
move on, because there's more exciting things to talk about. Of course, let's talk
Yeah.
all about the win versus New York, Gotham FC. God, that's a mouthful. Luis, your initial thoughts on our win in Gotham, let's say.
Well, Anna Morehouse third in goal. Great backline with Carrie Bello. Um, I feel Carrie was important in this game. Haley McCutcheon as well. Morgan Gotrada, another good, solid performance. Angelina Marta Aliguat. I feel Gotham really created really few chances for the Pride. They are a shadow of the team they used to be. And I think you mentioned that on the last pod episode. And I think the backline did a tremendous job to kind of to quote the band called a band called Keen, bend but not break strategy of that backline. They literally held down Gotham. They had no chance. Morehouse had a few saves. And they just ride with the tide. Gotham, Orlando was unpenetrable. You cannot penetrate Orlando Pride at all whatsoever. You cannot penetrate the defense at all. There was no spaces for Gotham to create any sort of attacking chances, and that made them really frustrated. I felt a lot of frustration from a lot of their players. One of them became a unicorn. A Spaniard lady became a unicorn after a tap from Emily Sams, and then they were complaining with the ref about the cards and the and the no and literally Emily Sonnet tried to arm drag and do a WWE move to Barbara Banda, because that's how much frustrated Emily Sonnet was in this game throughout the whole entire game. It was a very physical game. I think Gotham should have gone more cards, and Orlando did a great masterful game. Overall, 8 goals, 8 goals, you know, um, 0 goals against. John. That is impressive in itself. 2 back-to-back wins, 2 back-to-back clean sheets, right? And this is the team that is supposed to contend for the NWSL championship. I really highly doubt, unfortunately. And I saw it happening against Tampa Bay Sun when they played that friendly. I was like, yo, if they complicated this Gotham team so much, they're probably have this under the bag, and it showed. Don't let that fool you, because that's what Mr. Coach Amoros wants you to look. Look, I dominated 60% of the possession. That doesn't matter, because what did you do with the possession when you had the ball? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So tremendous job by the Pride. I'm so super proud. Shaboshi debuted, and she also again solid performance. I'm like, another. Are we seeing another? A summer came into solid. Marta again, clutch. Overall, perfect game for the Pride, in my opinion. What about you, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think some people would look at that and be like, "Oh, they got an own goal and a penalty. Maybe it wasn't the best performance." But I think they underestimate that, like, Orlando Pride will win in so many different ways. And I kind of look at this one like Gotham, like they lost this themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like they didn't perform at all. I didn't really feel threatened by Gotham that much at any point. I thought their attack was really pathetic in a lot of ways. I didn't really feel like they were able to impose much of a game on us. And we kind of, yes, got our goals and then do what we do best. We kind of shut the game down, made it difficult for them.
For sure. Let's read some comments real quick before we go to the first goal. Rachel says, I am quite, thank you. Welcome back, Rachel. Good to see you again. I'm quite happy to have the away match against them out of the way. Much more comfortable in the fortress. I agree with you. Shinta0013, thank you, Shinta. Gotham will get better. They have a lot of big pieces out. Don't sleep on them. There you go. There you go. Back to reality.
I'm sure I looked last year at Gotham as a top 4 team, and I do still think they're a very good team, but like there's something going on there.
There's something happening, yeah.
And you could see it in the field
It's a
because
lot of frustration.
it's a lot of individuals as well. There's not a lot of cohesion, like compared to our club that is like everyone is marching to the same drum and the same beat and everything is unified. Gotham is like, I just don't see any unification there. I think Juan Carlos Amaros has got his work cut out to him to try and figure out how to make this team a team again.
I agree with that 100%. I want to know how Sam's funny bone felt, says Rachel. Players always be fouling Banda and the refs allowed. Yeah, I mean, it literally was an arm drag. I thought I was watching WWE, and it was not even a yellow card. It was insane to me. Of all sad words, I was very concerned about Esther's head. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but that made her complain twice as much, man. I mean, she
had a headache.
Man, she was just complaining about everything.
I'm surprised they let her back on with the concussion protocols with that thing on her head,
Yeah, and I will say though, the ref looked like, even to Marta, I didn't like how he talked to her.
He was terrible. He was just terrible.
He was garbage.
Bad decision after bad decision.
He's like, this is not your job. This is not your job. It's like I could read the lips. Like, this is not your job. And going to that to Marta, I'm like, what?
Well, she's the captain, so it is her
right.
job.
It's like, this is not your job. This is my job. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there was that one foul that he called against Marta, and I think he gave her a yellow. I can't remember, but she got the ball so cleanly, and they put it on the replay, and it's like she won the ball. Like everybody could see she won the ball, and you call a foul against her. Like, yeah, I mean, we talk about it every week, Luis, but the level of reffing is just terrible.
Yeah. Now, let's watch the first goal. It was a brilliant free kick by Marta.
Marta delivers, Banda sends it across.
And that was an own goal. That was a golazo. I do want to say, great delivery right there with the inside of the foot. I don't know what she was trying to do. She trying to clear it.
Banda sends it across. That is an own goal. Karam's in off Lily Reel in her first pro start.
First pro start, man, and you make an own goal. First pro start. You imagine Amoros will, knowing, and I'm going to say this, and that sounds so wrong. Knowing Amoros, he's going to bench her. This is the last game we've seen her. It will be really difficult because he's going to be so biased about it. I feel like
you feel for her on that one. Yeah, you feel for her. I mean, a world-class own goal there, I think she was going for the extreme clearance and it just went right in, but proof of the ref's incompetence. Right after this, for sure. So he's it's bad.
I do want to say maybe she's trying to get scouted by the Pride.
Oh man, I mean, like on our debut too, I thought it was Davidson at first. Like I was like, oh, Davidson with the killer goal. We were at I want to say shout out to everybody who was at the watch party. I went to the official club one, but I know the Black Swans also had one. The official club one at the Hideaway. Saw lots of people there that say that they watched the pod. So hi to all of you.
Thank you guys.
And during that, we were having chaos at the watch party because ESPN good old ESPN, Luis. They decided because the baseball or basketball that was going on before on ESPN2 ran over. So, ESPN, of course, they're like, oh, we're going to bump it to ESPN News. So the bar had to quickly change all the channels to go to ESPN News because the game had started and we weren't watching it. And then ESPN put it back on ESPN2. So this has all happened. We missed the goal at the beginning of the game. So we're just like, the game has started. We didn't know. And then they scored a goal. We didn't know. So we were all like catching up from this chaos at the watch party. So it was a very chaotic beginning for everybody who was watching there. But in the end, I mean, a great start. Can we really give us any praise towards the start? I don't think so, because it was all them, but we'll take it.
Yeah, they were so focused on just playing very physical and trying to stop Banda and to stop Marta, and they just kind of forgot to do their due diligence to control any part of the game. And I think Orlando played they play free, free flowing, knowing each other, and they knew they had it, and you could see here all the green in the Pride side. A stellar performance by the back line, in my opinion. Again, Raffaelli being subbed out. That's, I would say, one of my concerns. I was told it was because of a precautionary reasons. That's. Hopefully, we're not into another injury season for Raffaelli, John. I don't know. And then after that, it was pretty much solid moving forward. Obviously, they were over marking Banda, making it difficult. But then what I love about this team is that they're trying to double mark Banda. They're manhandling Banda, but they forget about Watt, forget about Haley, forget about Angelina. They forget about Emily or even Marta. I just feel it's, and then Priska Chilufya came in too. So I mean, tremendous. And we're not even done yet because we still have Ohaini, and we have and we have Chanda that we haven't seen yet.
We do indeed. In terms of subs, yes, Raffaelli. That one was, I don't know. Like, we saw Raffaelli played the 45 in the Challenge Cup, and then I think it was like 60 minutes against Chicago. I was hoping that number would keep going up, so I was a little bit shocked to see her come off at halftime. Hopefully it's not injury related because she's looking really good. And
Seb said it was precautionary reasons.
Precautionary.
Because they want so they wanted to ease up her load because they're going to need her down the road, like full 90. Because guys, this league, you play all the teams twice in a year, but basically, and it gets tougher and tougher because they already know what tactics you use in the first game. So you have to replan your whole entire strategy twice. So I think that's the reason it's going to get worse for them down the road. He feels maybe better competition, and having a Raffaele that goes 30 minutes to 45 to 60, a couple games 65, 70, and then a full 90. I think that's probably what he wants to do, because if he just goes and, hey, I'm gonna put you full 90, and the player wants to play a full 90
for the big games, man.
Right, I mean, the player wants to play the full 90. It's just that Sepp feels, hey, wait a second, I know that you're really eager, but we have Corey, we have Shiboshi, we have all these players. I think we're gonna ease you up into it. So I think
that was a big strength of last year. So we got to do that again. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I played them last year. You got to keep giving minutes. I want to say Corey Dyke, came in, put in that right back again. Emily Samson, the center back. That's what we had at the end of last year. We feel comfortable with that. There's no problems with that. Emily can be right back, center back, doesn't matter. Corey came in, performed well again. I think we take it for granted that we have these players. We have the option to bring on any player, and they meet the level of requirement. There's no step down from any of these subs. I don't feel like any of our game changers are coming on and reducing the level of play. I feel like they're all able to meet the standard of requirement. Ali Limos coming on for this one, as well as Summer in the 79th minute. You talked about Priska coming on for Morgan. We see that a lot in the last few games where Angelina starts left wing, and then at some point he brings on another attacker, brings out Morgan or whoever, and puts Angelina into that D-mid again. Another one here, the debut for Zara Shavoshi. So shout out to Zara getting her debut for the Pride.
She did great.
Yeah, she came in and had a pretty good game, and kind of just sorted out for the last
she's an All-American, from one of the best players in the collegiate level, one of the best defenders collegiate level. Again, I don't know how the Pride does this. I don't know, Haley, what's the secret sauce there? But they're getting all these like top collegiate All-American players, and they come ready to work. And again, this is a player that in Wake Forest killed it, All-American, like Canadian national team. So she's going to be playing, probably because she's in the Pride now. She's probably going to be called up for the Canadian national team, depending how many minutes she gets with the Pride. So phenomenal ceiling for this young player. And obviously the move was to not, I hate to say park the bus, but definitely to play more defensively, because they ended up building a line of 5 out back.
Yeah. And that was the thing, was the game state called for us to like shut it down, right? Like we weren't creating an insane amount of chances this game. And let's not underestimate, we went to Gotham, where it's got one of the best defensive leagues in the records in the league. It's known for being a very hard place to go and get a win. And I feel like we did that comfortably. We're not going to score 6 goals every game. That's not realistic. But going to Gotham and seeing out a very comfortable 2-0 win is the signs of what a champion would do, right? Your top teams in the league go to other teams like this that are high up competitive teams in the league and get business done. We didn't need to score more goals. We just needed to see out the game. And it just shows Seb and, that intelligence. I think bringing on Summer and Ali was a lot to do with, like, let's shore up the midfield. Let's get some players out there that can, hold the ball a bit more to try and really kill off any chances that Gotham had. But also Gotham, they weren't threatening that much. Right. I didn't really, like I said before, I didn't feel really uncomfortable at any point in this game with what Gotham were doing. Just a lot of complaining, really.
Yeah, it's like my 7-year-old daughter. Daddy, I wanted the pink M&Ms, not the green M&Ms, and she will give me this whole argument about how her favorite M&Ms are the not the green ones. And it was all complaining for Gotham, and also the ref didn't help. I will give that to them. The ref was just belong on Pine Street. Let's read some comments real quick, and then we'll go to the second goal. Shinta says, I mean, if they took the KC approach, I think they could have scored 6 goals every game, but the Orlando route is safer. We actually have a defense. I do like that he puts on more attack prior to the 5 back to make them run a lot. Well, we make pretty passing sequences, says Rachel. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Shinta says, I mean, I didn't have to do much. Just set up a 5 back to shut it down. LMAO. Wake Forest center back. She could be the future if we don't resign Rafa, says Shinta. Of all sad words, yes, she's from Delaware, which as a person from Delaware is something I find notable. There you go. I love Delaware, man. I want to go to Delaware. Shinta0013. Yep. Is Zara a new player? Yep, it is. Ask Chelsea and Manchester City women how much fun it is to play with your rival 4 times in a row. That's some all sad words. Yes, I do like that Seth seems to be giving a lot of options, some minutes, and building their confidence. Yes, I do want to tap into that, because they gave the chain, right? The chain, the pride chain, to Zara
Yeah.
because they want her to feel part of the group. I mean, she's already part of the group, but what I'm saying is to feel important. Easily, they could have given it to Marta. She scored 2 goals, pretty much 2 goals, because if you count the own goal, But no, they give it to Sarah, and that's how together, and that's the culture that they're bringing together. Now they're motivated. One of their fellow players, fellow you know teammates, and she's gonna be even more ready in the next game, I'm sure. I don't mind the sub. I want Dyke to get minutes. Don't want to lose her to another team. I highly doubt Corey was going to leave for another team. If they call her up for friendlies and break her again, I will have to learn some mean words in Portuguese to send them an email. So there you go. Thank you guys for your support. You're putting a video right here of Sarah, right,
There's
John?
Zara. I just wanted to peel that up while you were talking about her, Zara, with her wearing the Orlando Pride. I feel like this is like a cult thing now. The giant Pride
Cold,
logo chain
dude.
thing. It's like a thing. It's
Like the
like,
chain gang?
yeah, like we've got like a vibe. Like this is a thing. Like at the end of the season, they
No,
gotta like frame this, put it up somewhere. Like that was
they
the
should go
chain.
in the museum.
Yeah, put it in the vault. Like if we win the double, put the chain in the vault.
And then
Or
make
don't, because
it
it's good luck. I don't know.
make it longer each year.
I want to say yes. Shout out to that. Also, a couple other things I got lined up here. An interesting one from OptaJack. Always love their stats. Orlando Pride's Marta is the second player in NWSL history to convert 10 consecutive penalties, joining Ashley Hatch. So there's a fun stat for you, Marta, queen of the penalties. And then another one. This is a question that Tom asked me at the watch party. He was asking what is going on with Oyane. Where is Oyane? I want to say shout out to Purple Flops United on X. Oyana's visa has been finalized, as you can see, because she was posted in here a picture that Carson Pickett put up on Instagram. Oyane is here with the players, part of the crew, so in town, and hopefully we'll see her on the field soon, Luis. So the only player so far that we haven't, the new signing that we haven't seen yet,
And Chanda.
as well as Chanda and Simone Charlie, that we're still very hopeful that we will see them at some point.
Sophia Manor.
Sophia Manor. Luis, you got me there. I was about to say,
Kidding.
I was about to agree with
Can't
you.
comment.
Can't comment. Anyway, Oyane is in town, so excited to see what she can bring as another right back. And I think we're going to play her like right wing as well, Luis. I think she's that kind of player where she could just dominate the right side. So maybe in some games you want to play her at the right wing. Some games they'll play her at right back. We'll see. But if Rafaeli is going to not play a full 90 and maybe, we're bringing on Corey, maybe Oyane would be the option there. We'll see. We'll see what she can bring to the team, but excited to have her here.
Yeah, I mean, Gotham has Esther Gonzalez, right? She playing Atletico Madrid.
Is
In
it
Real
Esther
Madrid.
or Esther? I was like, I couldn't.
Esther. Her name is Esther. Esther.
Esther.
Esther. Esther
Okay.
Gonzalez.
But like with a
But
real, like European Spanish, Esther, like, Barcelona style
hostia.
accent,
Esther.
Yeah.
Esther Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. Yeah.
But I do want to say, Esther played in Madrid. She's played in, obviously in Spanish national team. She killed it. But you have another Spaniard now in Orlando, and we'll see what she can do. I'm hopeful that a lot of people in Europe is still talking about how did Madrid lose that player? They can't believe it.
Yeah.
Which makes me honestly wonder, what is she gonna do? Because
Orlando Pride is massive, man. That's why
we're stacked.
we just take them
Wing.
from Barca and Real as we choose. Why not? I also want to say this one was interesting because I feel like Barbara had a vendetta to score against New
Yeah.
York as the only team that she hasn't scored against, and Ann
Mhm.
Katzenberger is like the only keeper that she hasn't scored against in
Mhm.
NWSL, and it just wouldn't happen for her in this game. But she tried, like she tried real hard, but just couldn't get that goal in this one. But
Yep.
it's good for Barbara to have goals to keep striving for, right? And I think when Gotham come to town, you're going to see Barbara try even harder to complete the set, because right now she's one goalkeeper away from the whole league.
Says here, I mean, if they took the KC approach, I think they could score 6 goals. I already read that. Oh no, don't read all my comments. There you go. Of all sad words, the chain is my favorite piece of club lore at this point. They should definitely sell it. Should sell an
Yeah,
imitation one.
it is like club lore. You know, I think they
Yeah.
do sell it. I know they make Orlando City one, so I think they sell that Orlando Pride
Oh,
one too. I think that's where they got it.
but well, why we don't have one? Me and you should have one.
Yeah, we'll get one and we'll put one up on the
Yeah,
wall here.
we'll put one
Yeah,
right. I'll
yeah,
wear it.
you'll wear it during the
This is,
celebrations as well, Luis.
yeah,
I love that.
this is that was some rum burgundy trickery. Did anyone ever find out who brought that to Houston? Shinta, hope us bringing on some more fullbacks means UN's women's national team stop playing games and starts calling up Abello. There you go. That's a good. That's it's being
How
and
long? How long we've beaten that drum, Luis?
and Sam's and there's so many.
I
Nadiner,
think Kylie Nadiner. Yeah, I honestly,
Nadanner. Sorry.
they might not consider her at that age as a candidate, but the performances. I mean, she was in Team of the Week for NWSL this week. She's got the highest rating on all the. Like, she had an incredible game. Was our best defender in this one. Is seriously underrated. You know, Abello, yes, massively underrated. We talk about that a lot. I don't think we talk enough about how good Kylie Nadiner is at this moment in her career.
And it's crazy to think how she arrived to the Pride. Crazy.
Almost 100 games. I think next game will be
Yeah.
100 games, right?
Yeah. So it's crazy how she came into the Pride. Um, a lot of people say, she was kind of tossed around Europe. She even said in interviews, she could have ended up anywhere. Um, she was she was loaned out and tossed around and playing a few minutes here and there. And a lot of people saw her coming back into NWSL as like, she's coming back to NWSL, and she just turned it up. I mean, you're talking about the change of culture started with her as well. I think she's a huge part, a huge leader. I feel like she has a big leadership presence in the locker room as well, and she's a phenomenal human being. So we have the second goal right here, and then we're gonna go to comments. Here we got Barbara Banda driving the ball, doing Banda things.
Spins on it.
Now look at that pass right there, unselfish, completely unselfish right there.
Banda knocks it across. Angelina steps inside, went down, penalty. And just like that, Orlando will head to the spot with a chance to double their money prior to the halftime.
I was going to praise the ref for getting this call right, but then I remembered that he gave the player the wrong yellow card. And this was another one at the bar. Like, we couldn't hear the commentary. So we were all just like, what is happening? Like, what are they reviewing? It looked like, if you couldn't hear, it looked like they were reviewing the penalty, typical NWSL. But he just gave the wrong player a yellow card, Luis, just 10 out of 10 there, bro. And then took about 10 minutes to realize he'd given the wrong player the yellow card and give it to the other player. So excellent reffing.
Who picks those refs? That's crazy.
I think it's more cases. This is the best that we can get from the U.S. pool. I think it's sad because I honestly think most of the better refs go ref men's soccer, and the women's soccer game is just left with what's left. And I think that the standard that's left is not great from pro. So
there should be another.
I
it's all about driving competition. If pro is failing, there should be a counterpart. There should be another referee pool that U.S. soccer, because look, competition makes you better, in my opinion. So If Pro is failing right now, it's because Pro feels like they're the only option. They're the cute girl in the dance. You know what I mean? They're gonna need me, whether they like it or not. I'm the hottest thing in town. That's what probably Pro feels. They feel so sure, and so that's why their level goes down and down every year. I think if they build a counterpart or a counter to Pro, another company that may go and maybe officiate even better. Pro has another thing coming. They gotta better get their act together. They kind of just put any ref in any game. Because it truly undermines athletes, both on both sides, Gotham and Pride.
So this was Brad Jensen. So next time Brad Jensen's up there,
Brad,
I'll remember Brad. Also, we had Jennifer Gardner as the assistant referee on the sideline. So I didn't know she was a ref.
she's the singer.
Just kidding, but that was her name. Jennifer Gardner was the sideline referee. But yeah, Brad Jensen. So I'm gonna start being like Oscar with Orlando City and start learning all of these refs' names. I never ever put time in to really learn who they are before, but I want to learn their names when they're this bad. So next time they come, I can lower my expectations from the beginning of the game.
Shinta says, "How sad! This was one of the one of the better ref games this week." There you go.
Yeah, like no lies, it's bad times.
Well, the first season she was poor at left back, but then there you go. It says our experienced refs keep graduating to national competition. And Tori Penso was doing the city game Saturday. That's right. Tori Penso would have been great. Shinta says, well, NWSL uses Pro 2 refs, not Pro 1. Not like it will make a difference. So they can definitely, Pro 2, they're going to ref the Chile's Classic.
That's literally it. Like, and you move up. And then when you move up, you're getting MLS games or maybe, some international friendlies or whatever. So it's just how they view you and how they view the league. So the standard of pro refs, in my opinion, even at the top, is not good. So we're getting the secondary choices of bad choices in NWSL, and it shows.
I think Rachel wants to be a ref. Says our experienced refs keep graduating to national competition.
Yeah,
and I'm so familiar with most of them now. And Tori Penso was doing the city game Saturday. There you go.
Yeah.
Shinta
So
went to school with Tori
look.
Penso. You went to school with Tori Penso, Shinta?
Well, there we go.
Wow.
We'll learn something today.
Well,
She had a good game. I thought she had a good game.
Yeah, she really liked Pasalic goal.
Well, she had a good game, I thought.
Yeah.
She had a really long talk with Benteke at the beginning of the match. That was interesting. But anyway, we're sidetracking into the men's game. But yeah, I think the refs here, terrible most of the game. This one, they got the call right, but they gave the card to the wrong player. So
yeah, look at that right here. Like you gotta do better than just hitting the. What do you think she's gonna do? Keep going?
And also Angelina is like,
yeah,
I knew exactly what Angelina was going to do at that. Like, you know what I mean? You knew she was going to cut inside there. But you just can't leave your leg like that. Like that.
You can just. She just went straight for the leg.
Yeah, Jess Carter, I expect more. Really, I think that was. I think
I'll be honest
Angelina baited her. She took the bait, and it was just all too easy.
I'll be honest with you. Those uniforms by Gotham. I'm sorry, man.
I think that Dove logo at the top of the back I'm sorry, but
that's
no.
hideous, man.
Don't shift your player name down so you can put a sponsor above it. What is this, NASCAR?
It's all about. They could have made it like Batman. What was so bad about Batman? They could have made it more cool or hipper. You know what I mean? Batman. We're talking about Gotham.
We look so good out there in that jersey, by the way, which I've now got my authentic, and I gotta say, when you put that thing on, you feel like a champion. That jersey is so nice, and the material it's made out of, you've got to go and touch and feel it in person. I know that they're pretty much sold out now, but if you can see one or you get your hands on one, they're an amazing material.
It says I was a ref as as a first job, it sucked.
Yeah. I mean, the ref is a thankless job, right? I get it.
it'd be
But
it'd be
we can still
cool.
complain and expect them to be better. There's nothing, nothing wrong with that.
So Marta goes to the spot, and she scores.
Marta steps up and delivers. Sends Berger the wrong way, and Orlando 2 goals ahead before halftime.
Of course, it was Marta. It had to be her.
Yeah, that pause she did, it threw off Berger completely.
Yeah. But also, she had to wait so long to
Stepping
take
up,
this
Angelina
penalty.
tried to be the decoy, but Anne-Katrin Berger would have known that. Sends Anne-Katrin Berger the wrong way. Great.
How can you boo Marta, man? Look at it. I'm sorry.
Composure. No one else you'd
They
want
were
to step up
booing
in this
Marta.
moment.
It's okay.
I think they were
Tucks it
booing
away.
that they gave the penalty. Like they were booing the ref. I'm like, it was a penalty.
Having a play like Marta.
Yeah. And then after that, it was pretty much over. I think the pride dominated every single instance, and I think Sep played safe in this game. It's just, you know what, we're not gonna let, because they made some substitutions too. We're not gonna let the momentum to go away. We're just gonna hold the game, and it's an away game. Let's go back now. Now they're gonna play the Wave. If you want to tie it into the Wave right here.
Quickly before that, I want to just look at the results across the league.
Sure.
Before we go to the Wave, I always want to try and it's nice in NWSL, Luis, because there's just enough games where we can keep focused, right? There's not 30 teams, there's only 13. So I did a little bit of betting this week. I want to say, first of all, gamble responsibly.
Where do you bet?
Online, you can do it with in Florida with I'm blanking now, Hard Rock Live. You can bet on, and NWSL is on there. And I like to have a little bit of fun with some parlays, which is where you kind of stack your bets. And I had some bets on this week, and I kind of picked winners of games. I got every single one right on one of my bets, and I put down $1. I would have won $500 if Seattle Reign had tied with North Carolina Courage. So that one really annoyed me because I did not expect Seattle Reign to beat North Carolina Courage in North Carolina. So that really now making me start to question, what is this North Carolina Courage, right? Like I heard a lot of good things about them in preseason, but so far we're not seeing it. I don't rate Seattle Reign. I think that was a really bad loss for Courage there at home. Other results around the league, Portland Thorns, Angel City 1-1. Kansas against Washington. That was a big win for Kansas City. I think it showed just how good their attack is. Washington still, kind of missing some of those key pieces. That was going to be a tight game, I thought, but for Kansas to keep Washington from scoring at all, that was good achievement by them. Bay FC, a team beating Racing Louisville. We talked about the fact that we feel like Bay FC are going to be better this year. A good solid performance from them. San Diego Wave beating Utah Royals. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about them. They got a 3-2 win. Good result for them against a Utah team that we do believe has improved from last year. Houston Dash, Morgan's husband, getting his first win of the season away at Chicago. Chicago just not looking good at all. Houston definitely made some improvements from last year, trying to not be that wooden spoon team anymore. I think, Luis, across the league, it was a pretty interesting round of games. And, do you have any thoughts or any teams that you're, looking out for or comments on so far in the season?
No, for sure. I think San Diego Wave has pretty young talent as well. I think they've improved. I do feel like Bay FC is also a really big contender. Kansas is going to be Kansas. They're going to try to push Kansas. The league is going to want Kansas to do it. I do want to say, though, San Diego got a team now, I believe, also. So get ready for San Diego, and they're gonna be building a stadium there as well. I heard. So the women's game is getting better and better right there.
Mm.
Um, the rain, with I think, but I mean, I feel terrible by Portland and Angel City. I mean, those teams to me they're pretty dead. Chicago as well, pretty dead. I don't. I know a lot of people see Gotham coming back. I feel they're gonna have a. I think Amoros is gonna be out like fairly soon. If they not able to turn the tide. But Orlando needs to focus on themselves. I think that's been their motto. It's them being the best team in the league, not really care about what everybody else is doing. Um, and I think that's what Seb has installed in the team. And I think look at that, man, 8+8 and 0 losses.
Yeah. I
Tremendous,
mean, could you get a better start? 8 goals, 4-0 against
tremendous.
+4 goal difference on Kansas City, which, come the end of the season, that could be massive. That could be huge, right? That could be the difference if we end up on the same points between us winning, the Supporter Shield or not, right? So we couldn't have had a better start, really.
So we could get the double.
The double, man. I'm all for it. Let's go. Yeah, I think interesting start to the league. I think BFC up there, it's only 2 weeks in, of course. You got to take everything with a pinch of salt. But the NWSL looking like that parity, that what we always talk about. Like there's so many good teams. And so we're seeing this year, hopefully, the worst teams from last year improving and things kind of evening out. Where maybe it's going to be more difficult for the likes of Gotham and North Carolina and Racing Louisville to be in this 5, 6, 7 run. Like they might have to fight for those spots in the playoffs. We'll see. I still consider Orlando Pride, Kansas City, Washington, your 3 biggest teams right now in the league, who I expect to be up there in the top 3 most of the season. So let's see how that all plans out. But right now, we couldn't have had a better start.
Yep. When it comes to the Wave, I mean, they have a pretty mix of experience from Europe. They signed the PSG Dali, number 10. She's pretty. She's been pretty influential. She's 33 years old, so she's a veteran. And then there's a lot of players that have stepped up tremendously. They also have another French national team player, Cascarino. Sanchez McCaskill, to me, has been tremendous. I think in her game, McCaskill has been influential. And the Canadian striker, Adrienne Leon. I think she's been tremendous. So I think, Corley as well. I do want to say she's been quite a danger, but it kind of reminds me a lot of some of the players that we will be signing. So they kind of saw the pride, and they're like, "Hey, I think we need to do what they're doing. So let's get rid of this whole, let's put a couple of veterans. I think it's important to have a veteran presence, but not just overly veteran, So I think they're turning the tide. I feel like they're an exciting team as well. I just feel like their backline's still way under par compared to ours, and I think that could be a difference. They could definitely score a goal on us. They're really good in the set piece game. They have important players up top, but I feel we're still 1 or 2 steps ahead in a matter of depth, in the matter of tactical ability. This is the Pride is a team that knows each other in and out for 2 seasons already. They are pretty much a team that it's coming together, with important pieces, but they're coming together. So I think the Pride, they're gonna win this game. It's clear to me. Plus, you're at home, John, home with a crowd, with a wall. I think it's a matter of this could be a s- a I don't know if a large margin, but definitely their back line has suffered. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. What are your expectations on this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think any team we play, I'm gonna back us to win. Um, San Diego, or like I kind of see them like that sleeping giant, right?
Yeah.
They were a very big team, of course, and last year they had a lot of changeover. The likes of she who should not be named leaving, and other players coming in.
Oh,
Like you said, it's it's a young season. It's a young squad for the Wave, and they're starting to figure it out. Is it the ex Arsenal guy they brought in, right? I can't remember his
yeah.
name off the top of my head, but
Alex Morgan.
he's no, not the coach. I'm thinking of the coach. Let's have a look here in the lineup. We can see what his name is. Uh, but yeah, they definitely look a lot better. I think they're looking a lot better than last year. Um,
Jonas. Jonas brother.
No, not yes, Jonas Eidevall. He is the man. So he's now the coach. It's getting better. They do have a lot of talent. I think McCaskill is one that has that ability to create from nothing. So I think you got to watch out for her. Maria Sanchez, same. Like I think that the front line and the attack for them is clicking for sure. I think that's not to be debated. I think defensively they're not the best. I think defensively we can put goals past any team in the league, and I don't rate their defense that highly. So it could be that, maybe they get one against us, but I just think our attack is better than their defense, and their attack is good, but our defense is just the best in the league. So
Yeah.
either way you match up, I think we're going to win the battles in the midfield. We're going to win the battles up front. And I think when you've got Barbara Banda out there, you can stop her, but then everyone else gets involved in the game. And I question the ability of San Diego Wave to even just stop Barbara. So we saw last game that she was kind of shut out by Gotham a little bit. And I think it takes all of your energy to do that. And then the rest of the team still scores anyway. And I think they're going to waste a lot of energy on Barbara, and she's still going to get away and score a goal.
Yeah, I think I see more of a promising game for Banda against the Wave. I think McNabb and Wesley, and yeah, I don't know. They've been kind of. I mean, they're. I'm not gonna downplay San Diego by any means, but I feel defensively we're in a different level than they are. We have Gottrad in a tremendous form. Haley McCutcheon, she's the heart of that midfield, in my opinion. Um, what to say about Marta? I think when Sanchez sees Marta, maybe she's gonna be a little starstruck. You know what I mean? I think our wingers, Carriabello against Corley. I mean, that'd be good to see as well. You know how our backline's going to react with such dominant performance by Corley, one of the best players in the Wave right now. And our center back duo, I have full faith in them to guard Leon. So I don't know if it's going to be a shutout. I believe that I mean, they do have some important pieces.
I think they're more likely to score a goal than
Yeah,
Chicago or Gotham were,
for
based on what
sure.
we saw.
Yeah, based on what, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look here, I love that SofaScore has this ability to compare the two teams. So they put up our stats and their stats. So obviously we've got 4 goals per game. They're on 2 goals a game though, which is pretty decent. We're on 6 shots on target per game. They've got 5 big chances per game. They're actually creating more big chances than us per game in the first 2 with 2.5.
That's Corley right there.
I do think their attack has got something to it. Maybe they get one. Maybe if we allow that, but as Marta likes
I
to
mean, they
say,
can get one,
no
but
one
then we
has
get four.
fun. No one has fun in our house. Yeah, like regardless, even if they get one, I think we'll get 2 or 3. I don't think there's a world where we're gonna lose this one.
I don't see us
I
losing
know
it.
it's
Yeah.
like I find strange because I don't want to get to the point where we're just talking about, oh,
Wins.
every week we're predicting a win and like we're getting really, really cocky for lack of a
No,
better
but what
word.
happens? What happens if we go? What
But
happens if we go undefeated, John?
I gotta say, like last year it happened. So like we can't, based on the level of play we're seeing, and then
Yeah,
based on our opponents so far, the next real danger game for me is gonna be KC.
Casey. Yeah, for sure.
Like San Diego might be improving from where they were, but compared to what we're at and the level that Orlando Pride is, I think we're on 2 different zones right now. And I
Yeah,
don't think anybody is near to our level of play who isn't KC or Washington.
yeah, it's not cockiness. It's just a fact. I mean, Orlando is playing phenomenal football, and there's nothing wrong of saying that they're playing phenomenal football. It's fantastic. Um, Now again, the Wave to me, I feel like you said, they have more of like an attacking minded. They've been a little bit better in attack than most of our rivals recently, but we'll see. I mean, I think you know they have something to prove. They want to make a statement. Here comes the Pride. Try to make a statement out of us. See if you can. And I think our players. I feel our players are motivated to just keep it going. And keep scoring. Banda is gonna want to score a couple goals for sure. For her own record and all of that. So.
Yeah.
Not cocky, just confident. I think they kept Morehouse around just to give other teams believe that they got a chance. It says they also play
Hey,
Utah.
no, you can't be Shinsa. You got to, Morehouse is 2 for 2 on clean sheets. You got to get on board. You got to get on board. I do think that we will win this game, Luis. In terms of lineup, I don't think we're going to see a change, which is
Yeah,
strange in some ways because we talk about how we change the lineup and the flexibility of the squad, but I think Seb likes the starting formula and then he can change things from there.
yeah, I believe the same thing. I think we're gonna see Rafa playing maybe another 45, or maybe
Angelina
50.
on the left wing again.
Angelina on the left wing, Ali Watt on the right, Band up top, Marta on the 10. I like you know Haley McCutcheon did great. Um, I think Morgan is doing great as well. I mean, if you really want a destructor in the mid, just get Morgan and Haley right there. I don't think. I think this game, Sep's approach is going to be just like they did with Gotham. With Angelina and Haley. So, and why not? We have Sam's. You have your back four. Kylie and Nadaner, and then Carriabello, which Carriabello again, the national team needs to take notes. I mean, why are none of these players being called up? Like it's annoying.
I think there's going to be more camps coming up, and if it continues, then it'll be a real case of it's just
I
I
mean,
don't
we're
know,
benefiting
it's
out
not
of it if they
happening.
don't.
I think at this point there's been it hasn't been like there's been some camps that they could have been called up to, but it hasn't been so obvious, right? And I feel like as if they continue their standard of play as the year goes on, and we still don't see the likes of Carriabello, getting a call up, I'm then starting to question why not. Right now, it's still like, okay, maybe they just haven't had the chances, but yeah, it's going to be hard to justify not calling in a left back who has, gone 2 seasons almost undefeated.
Yeah, it's
Alrighty,
insane.
Luis. Your score prediction. I do actually have the sheet
Oh,
here
you have
ready
a
to
sheet.
go. Yeah, I
Okay.
have it for the Pride too. We're doing it for both teams this year. So I don't remember what you said for the first games. So you have to tell me. I believe you said 3-0 for both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean this one, what do you think?
On this one, I'm gonna give let's do it. Are you guys
What?
ready?
Yeah. What are you gonna go?
4-0.
You're gonna go 4 this time against. Okay.
Yeah, I
mean,
against the wave.
the positivity is true. You're right.
If
Why
if
not?
I get it right, man, I'm gonna start doing that betting too.
I'm gonna go 2-1. No, more than 2. I was like 3-1. It was like 3-1 last week. I don't know if I should give them a goal. We just talked about how good their offense is, but our defense is also extremely good. I'm gonna say 2-0. I think it's another 2-0.
Good. 2-0.
Yeah. Oh,
But you
I
put
put it in the
you already
actual.
yeah.
I was like,
I'm like,
I'm putting it in for
there's something
sure.
I don't know
Of
there,
course.
John. You're a
Um,
time traveler.
Speaking of betting, and I want to say, Shinto was saying you don't bet on NWSL. It's too unpredictable. I tend to agree with that. So I was extra annoyed that I got this close and didn't get it. But the good news is I won it all back on Orlando Pride because for some reason the bookies had us at Gotham at like it was like plus 130 or something. Like they had the odds makers sometimes are behind as some of the media, Luis, in which they haven't realized how good we are yet. So
I'm sure.
that was nice to make my money back. Thank you to Orlando Pride for that. So, alrighty. I also want to talk about a few other things, Luis.
Sure.
One which is super cool, and I want to encourage everybody to join and sign up. There is a NWSL fantasy league, just like you would play if you played like the EPL ones or others. I am a part of it here. Everybody who's in the Facebook group for the Orlando Pride NWSL Championship had an opportunity to sign up. So this is our league on the table here. So shout out to Huff and Puff, who is number 1 on the table with 249 points.
I haven't joined.
Shout out to Purple Trouble, who is in second.
Purple Trouble
and Pride City FC. So if you're a fan of the pod and you're in the league, well done. You've started well, and everybody's chasing you for these points. So sign up. If you're not a part, you can come join. There's still time. We've only 2 weeks in. You can join in the fun. So I just want to give that one a shout out, and to everybody who's organizing it, Tom and everybody else who's on the Facebook moderators who are organizing this for us to all join in and have fun together. Thank you, because it's a really cool thing. So
that's awesome. This is Shinta, when they're calling in nice Wonger and Dunn instead of Abello, something stinks. I know. I agree with you. Hopefully they don't get like the men, choking. Shinta says, unless Morehouse says otherwise, we get scored on this match, says Shinta. 3-1, says Shinta. 3-1. So San Diego's gonna be the first team that's gonna score on us.
I could see it. Not that I don't like it. I could see it. They've got that attack, right? But
yeah, they got a pretty good
I still
attack.
think our defense is really good. So
yeah,
it could not happen. This game, Luis, is going to be a noon game. So this is literally at 12 o'clock. You're going to have to drive out super early on Saturday.
So as this Saturday?
Yeah, at noon. Kickoff starts at 12 for this one.
I'll be getting home sooner.
Yeah, you'll be home soon on this one.
I'll be home for dinner.
I know the club is doing a brunch option. I've seen an advertisement for this where you can go and have bottomless mimosas and go watch the Pride right after. So you can go for your brunch at 11 and you can sit in the West Club or wherever it is and drink your mimosas and then watch the Pride. So that sounds like a pretty good time to me,
Yeah.
So if you haven't got tickets yet and you're like, maybe I'll come see a Pride game, you could do brunch as well, which I think is pretty cool. So shout out to the marketing team for trying to get on that brunch game.
Yeah, and don't you feel you start seeing also a lot of Orlando City fans now too going there? I feel I see new faces all the time now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no home Orlando City game this weekend. The men play the same day, but much later in the evening. So there's no reason why we shouldn't see more Orlando City fans coming to the Orlando Pride game. I just want to get that over 10,000 mark throughout the season, Luis. I think as long as we're showing good progression, the numbers year on year are better than last year. That's what we want. And I think everybody who comes to a home game, if it's like the first one where it's 6-0, they're going to be coming back. So I imagine a lot of those fans from the Chicago game are licking their lips at a 12 o'clock Pride game and are ready to come back and watch this team produce goals again.
Yeah, it'll be tremendous. It'll be cool at some point, especially in preseason. It's just an idea. I don't know. It would be cool if they. It would be cool to see both teams playing. Not against each other, but like a double header type of thing. You could get to see the men and the women. I think that will really captivate, even in a friendly. Uh, the men against some certain team and the women against, and also the Pride should do their kind of like, pride around the world, but there's some friendlies maybe in South America. We cool to see them there. We could to them to experience, traveling to a different continent, maybe Europe. Why not? I think it'd be cool. I think, but I mean, we're thinking big time now. I mean, big time. I mean, we're now not on the losing end. We're on the winning end. So no more sad pride.
Nope.
More happy pride.
The sun shines over Orlando Pride as the season kicks on. Thank you to everybody who is here with us live. We appreciate it. If you have not figured it out yet, we are now Mondays at 8 o'clock for the Pride. No longer, of course, on Tuesdays. That way y'all can get your Pride Pod on a Monday and enjoy it for the rest of the week. I don't think I have anything else, Luis. I think we've talked every point I had on Orlando Pride this week.
Say no to hate. Stand with Barbara Banda. It's terrible what they're saying about her, and no one should be exposed to all that garbage. So, but the more they put rocks in our path, I think the best the team performs and shuts everybody up. It has shown resilience in tough times. Remember what happened with Luana, and how they won everything. I think we need to show as a fandom, whether you're a City fan or a Pride fan, give your support to number 22. I like how they play the Taylor Swift song every time she scores. 22.
I'm feeling 22.
22. There you go. So you can check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We're going to be uploading this episode. Thank you for your support. Drop us a 5-star rating. We're also on X, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube as LP_podcast or Loud and Proud Orlando. 78 people. 78 people live. I don't know what happened with that. 78 people live. Thank you so much for your support. Anything else you want to add, John, before we go?
No, just we really do appreciate all your support. It was great to meet some more Pride fans in person at the watch party. We thank you all for being part of this community here that we're growing. And tell your friends, tell them to watch Loud and Proud Orlando. Tell them to come out to a Pride game. And excited to see you all for a brunch game on Saturday.
Some mimosas at 11 in the morning.
Let's go.
There you go. Vamos Pride. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
Vamos Pride.